I saw I'm asking this because last night I saw a very, very interesting documentary about this. It was a man who looked like he was in his late 40s, middle 40s, and he felt like a girl on the inside, a girl. Even when he was a little boy. Well, this was CNN Present. And sometimes they show interesting stories like this. And they followed this guy around. And when he was a little boy, he felt like a girl. But he still didn't want to play with girl toys, like dolls and things. He liked digging in the yard and really doing manly things. So he didn't really play with girly things. He just felt like a girl on the inside. And he grew up and he went to college. And he felt that way even more so. So he started reading more about alternative sexuality thing. What do they call that? Yeah, transgender life. And he read about it. He read that there were other people that were doing it. And then he went to college, graduated from college. He moved to Florida. And he got a job at the city commissioner of Florida, a city in Florida. And he was a manly man while doing this. But yet he had this feeling on the inside that he felt like a woman. He didn't feel like a man. He finally got married. And he got married. He and his wife moved into this beautiful home. They had a baby. He had all the money they needed. They finally had a baby, a little boy. And the guy still, once he got married, according to this guy, once he got married, for 7 years, he no longer felt that way. It just left him. And the feeling for 7 years, he was married now. And he said for the first time, he felt like somebody loved him. So he married this woman who loved him. And they had a baby for 7 years. They did well in his career. And then all of a sudden, this woman rose up again after 7 years. And he thought, wow, she is back. And so he thought, wow, I really am a woman. Now I got to tell you, he was popular in the city. Everybody knew him and all that kind of stuff. So he felt that this woman is back. And now he needs to change his body part and really live out his life, become a woman, because he felt like a fake, being a woman and yet married to a woman and trying to act like a man. He went home and told his wife. It was a shock to his wife. It really just blew her out of the water. And he finally admitted to his wife that he had been dressing in women's clothing, secretly dressing in women's clothing. And so he asked his wife, he told his wife about it. And so, but he said, I really want to stay with you and work this out. She said, okay. But he said, could I continue to dress as a woman? And the wife agreed to it. They were going to keep it secret, and they agreed to it. But what happened, the interesting thing that happened, according to this guy, and they're showing this on the film too, when he got permission from his wife to dress as a woman, he started doing it all the time. He started going to the malls, just started putting on makeup. He would have his own closet with his women's clothes and makeup, and he said that he lost control once his wife agreed with him that he could do it. He was secretly doing it. His job didn't know it yet. Long story short, he finally got into it once his wife approved of it. His wife regretted approving of it, because she realized when she said yes to it, he got worse instead of getting better. And then they had this boy that turned 15 years old. And I'm going somewhere with this story real fast because I want to make a spiritual point with this. They had a boy who had turned 15, the boy real close to his father. And then so the father told the boy that he was a woman on the inside, and he's now going to change his body part from man to woman. And the boy was shocked at first, but the boy loved his dad so much that he finally went on and accepted this, right? And I'm thinking, wow, what a sad thing that a son have to accept about his father. And then how selfish this father is, that he's imposing this on his son like that. He should just go and die as a man, even though he felt like a woman, rather than destroying his son. But he told his son. Then the word got out at work that this man was about to have a sex change. And the news media broke it, and it got out. And so the guy finally admitted it. Of course, he ended up losing his job because he went on and had the surgery. And they showed the whole thing. about it. Now, here's the thing that was interesting about it is that they talked about his parents, and they showed his parents too. His father was at work all the time. He said he did not have a close relationship with his father, but he had a close relationship with his mother, who stayed home. And so he was closer to his mother than his father. That's the first clue right there. That's the first clue right there. When you're not close to your father, when you don't love your father and he doesn't treat you in that way, you'll open up for this other spirit, this other identity to come in and overtake you. Did you know that? Yeah. And that other identity is the identity of mama. Since Eve, Adam and Eve syndrome happened, and Eve took on the nature of the devil, it still dwells. That's what's being passed on through her to her children. And then when you become of age, you overcome it by realizing something is wrong. You repent, and God will cause you to be born again. He will cause you to overcome that spirit and take on his nature, his spirit. Then you can live your life. That's what it's all about. If you read Genesis, if you want to understand it, read Genesis. It's all in there. It's laid out right in there. But the guy entertained the thoughts. I'm going to read something to you here in a minute. But you are not to entertain those thoughts. Don't keep company with them. They're not your thoughts. They're not the thoughts of God. That's why they make you do what you don't want to do. They make you feel bad about yourself. They make you hate others. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Jess, we're going to do the interview tomorrow about the book. And that's one of the issues that I address. Why is there so much confusion, especially sexual confusion amongst the young today? And one of the things that I bring out is I try to trace the biblical roots to that.
Yes.
And what you find, and Jesse pinpointed, it is in the book of Genesis,
yes,
where all these things were set in motion. And the inherent weakness of men is that we are passive and we are irresponsible. When the going gets tough, we take off. Okay, that's something that we inherited from the first Adam. Now, thank God the second Adam came along to restore our masculine identity. But the gender sin in women is to manipulate, to control, and to dominate the male. So when you have a passive, irresponsible male with a dominating, manipulating, controlling female, you get this curse that is savaging our children today. And that's why there's so much confusion.
Yeah.
You know, and then with the second Adam, Jesus Christ, he can restore, you know, what the enemy has stolen and get us back in order so that blessing that you're talking about, brother, could come upon our children again.
And the one, just to add to that, the one good thing about it, it is right at hand. It really is. I just want you to realize this, that you have never had a godly thought. There's godly knowing revelations, but not godly thoughts. We're out of time. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.
Wow.
For more information or to purchase a copy of this show, visit us on the web at www.bondinfo.org or call 1-800-411-BOND.